Hello and welcome to another selection of the hottest Q&As Reddit has to offer. Which cartoon character had the best character development and why? Philip J. Fry from Futurama. I know it's a comedy show, but the most heartbreaking moments involve Fry and just how much he means to everyone or how much he does to help. I am only just realizing his growth as a character as I grow older too. A down in the dumps, not so smart pizza delivery boy who is catapulted into a new life, and what does he do? Forgives his brother and appreciates his nephew, his best friends and roommates with a robot who has almost as many problems as he does, was the first kind person to Leela and was ready to die for her on multiple occasions. Saved the professor from humiliation, saves universe more than once and comforts his mother just by dream hugging her, secretly knowing that's what they both needed. Fry deserves more love and appreciation. Cusco from Emperor's New Groove. Spoiled brat with everything, to spoiled brat with nothing, to less spoiled brat learning about teamwork, to fairly normal person, to getting everything back but not being spoiled anymore, but rather respectable. That scene where he saved Pasha's life and was celebrating was a true turning point. He realized he could get a great feeling by doing good rather than just fulfilling his own desires. Also a good lesson for the target audience. While Zuko is the best one, Azul's decay into insanity was good. Sure, she starts evil, but all her frustrations add up. People always forget, yeah, she's evil, but she's only 14 years old. Kids already struggle with empathy and she was raised by Ozai to be perfect and cruel. She's also been neglected and probably emotionally abused. The only way she got any affection was being cruel and perfect in her dad's eyes. So that's what she was. I mean, still evil, but I have empathy for her too. I feel like Hank Hill really grew throughout the series. It's really a show about the father-son relationship, and you get to see how his relationship with Cotton affected him. He doesn't fully understand Bobby, but I think his motivation in trying to comes from not wanting to be like Cotton. I always liked how Bobby turned out to be good at identifying meat and was good at grilling, and it made a bond between him and Hank despite all of their differences. Bobby was also one hell of a shot with a rifle. Carl from Up. I'm still mind blown that Pixar was able to create such a compelling story that addressed grief and loss, the realization childhood dreams, being a father figure, and the search for meaning in life all into one animated movie. If we're saying Pixar count as cartoons, then I'd like to say Joy from Inside Out. She believed success was about always being happy and that sadness was an annoyance that shouldn't be there. Whilst she was kind of right, she learned how being sad can make happy times so much more poignant and create a fuller, deeper personality with more meaningful moments. Of course, there's an argument that Bing Bong had a stronger arc where he turned from constant fun to self-sacrifice, but I don't think I'm emotionally strong enough to think about that right now. Raven from Teen Titans. She grew up thinking that destiny was an unchangeable reality, succumbing to the threats of her father, and living a life full of anxiety and isolation because of her fears. Before dying, she had the hope that she was wrong about everything and gave each of her friends a portion of her soul to survive the brought forth apocalypse, granting them the chance they needed to survive and fight a bit longer. After all was said and done, and after it had cost her her very own life, she finally understood that her destiny was what she chose for it to be and not what others told her it was. Though she failed the first time, she was given a second chance to change it all and took it. Having grown from that experience, she came back stronger, more balanced, and more trusting in those who loved her, chose who truly was her family, and ended up saving her world from her father. Truly a great metaphor for life's choices, free will, and the dooming feeling of a predestined life. A great arc for a great character. Ice King from Adventure Time. I was searching through the comments for any Adventure Time. I can't believe there isn't more. As silly as that show is, if you watch it chronologically, every character goes through major changes within themselves and with each other. The character web they ended up with is insane. And no matter how deep they got, you can still watch any random episode without any context and enjoy it. They had this crazy ability to use every character, big or small, in a very important way. My favorite is when they ended the first episode with NEPTR playing hide and seek. Then he shows up 2 seasons later, saying he is the hide and seek master. Because Jake and Finn forgot to search for him. That show is beloved. Sokka from Atla. He is underrated and often overshadowed by Zuko, partly because his character is often used for comedic relief. However, his development from a sexist alpha male mentality kid to a true leader is great to look at and something a lot of viewers could actually relate to more than to Zuko. Both Woody and Buzz from Toy Story. Especially the first one. Woody goes from being Andy's favorite to playing second fiddle early on, and has a really big shock to his system. Then he goes on a redemption arc where he gets rid of his jealousy. Buzz goes from believing he's the real Buzz Lightyear, to having reality crash down on him, and then overcomes his depression when he finds his new purpose, to bring kids joy. I hate how they portrayed Buzz in TS4. A complete moron and clueless. Come on Pixar, he wasn't that dense. Grunkle Stan from Gravity Falls. That whole show had great characters, but Stan had the most interesting ups and downs. Stan Pines grows more and more complex as the series goes on without ever once changing from his core gruff lovability. What an excellent man. He's old school AF. Love him and still watch that show with my wife and daughter. Eva from WallE. Damn, when she tried to wake up dead, WallE broke my hearth. WallE has to be one of my favorite movies. I swear I cry every time she tries to wake up WallE, and then when she holds his hand and sings because she finally realizes that's the only thing he wanted from her all along. I freaking sobbed at that point in the movie. My husband had never seen a movie make me cry before, and he was like, "Really? Robots are what do it?" Jokes on him because that just unleashed my emotions, and now I cry at everything sappy lol. Diane Wind from BoJack Horseman, like how she came to terms with herself despite starting out with a false sense of self. Sometimes life's a harlot, and then you keep on living. I feel like that's the whole show right there. It works so well with BoJack's preceding line, "BoJack, life's a harlot and then you die, right? Diane, sometimes. Sometimes life's a tramp and then you keep living." Pops from Regular Show. He seems like an old goofball, but, spoiler for show that ended years ago, he ends up giving his life to save the universe. I think Rigby character development was the best one on that show. Yeah, Pops is great, but Rigby is the one who truly grows as a person in so many ways. Muscleman is on the same boat here. Putting all pranks aside, he grew as a person too. Currently rewatching Lilo and Stitch, and I wanna toss in Stitch. Sure, he became more of a mascot to sell toys, but the movie does a great job showcasing his change from a being solely bent on destruction to an essential part of Lilo and Nani's family. All the characters from As Told by Ginger. They probably had the most realistic growth scene in a kid's cartoon. Plus they changed clothes daily and sometimes repeated parts of outfits, which was a nice touch. One of my favorite cartoons from childhood. I watched it again a few years ago and it holds up really well. Vegeta. He went from a villain to reluctant hero/rival to Goku to husband and father, then he had his redemption in the Buu saga. Vegeta met a woman who wouldn't take his bull poop. He didn't know how to handle that, so he married her. In Dragon Ball Super, Vegeta reveals that Saiyan females have strong-willed personalities, and such characteristics were sought out as mates for male Saiyans, which causes Piccolo to surmise that this is why Saiyan males like Goku and Vegeta chose strong-willed human females like Chi-Chi and Bulma as their respective wives. Rigby from Regular Show. He goes from lazy frick that doesn't care about anything to a great guy that truly does care about his friends. Rigby quietly starting to date Eileen without any drama, while Mordecai has spent seasons stressing about Margaret, and his crazy love life will never not be my favorite thing. So surprising and yet completely makes sense with their characters and really cements Rigby's growth. I really love Simba. Goes from a spoiled kid to wanting to be brave to impress his dad to experiencing unbelievable trauma and guilt to repressing it all as a carefree young adult to finally accepting his destiny as king. But even when he goes back to fight Scar, he isn't willing to really break free of his guilt until Scar reveals that he killed Mufasa. Some of the original Magic School Bus kids were pretty well developed. The reason Carlos is a joker is because he doesn't get as much attention at home because of his paraplegic brother. Keisha is more mature because she's being raised by her grandma, which leaves to wonder why her parents are absent, dead. Missionaries? Deadbeats? Phoebe's father is blind, which lead her to be an activist and always looking to help others. Wanda's mom is a herpetologist and an all-around bad butt. With that, and trying to be an awesome big sister to her baby brother, Wanda herself is quite the tomboy and badass. And so on. What would have been your answer or question? Leave it in the comments below. Slap that like and subscribe button for more, and check out the link in the video description for even more answers. Peace out, and catch you in the next video.